Madam Chair, I appreciate that. Chair Lowy, one year ago I stood before this committee when we used to stand before the committee, and I implored my colleagues to take seriously, despite whatever difficulty they may be on a political level, the important issue of securing a national strategy for a permanent repository for high-level defense nuclear waste and commercial spent nuclear fuel. Today, we are no closer to developing such a strategy, and the question today that comes to frame this issue in my mind is, where is the leadership? I've already voiced my profound disappointment in the administration's decision to not include funding for Yucca Mountain in their budget request. I went to the White House after they made this, my opinion, ill-advised decision to forego funding in the upcoming fiscal year and told them this issue was too important to play politics with. They said their focus was going to pivot to a strategy of interim storage. But as this committee report before us notes, where is the administration's plan on interim storage? Where is the strategy? Again, where is the leadership? This matter isn't just in the hands of the White House, though, and the Department of Energy, Madam Chair. It is in our hands as well. The bill before us today fails to do its job. We, then, are failing to do our jobs. Taxpayers are assessed over $800 million annually. That's $2.2 million per day because of the federal government's failure to meet its obligation to dispose of used fuel across this country. This committee is not doing its job, and this committee is not leading, but we should and we must, Madam Chair. The fact of the matter is that Yucca Mountain is the law of the land. There is no skirting that fact. The federal government spent decades and billions of taxpayer dollars studying the right place for the repository. It has been the subject of one of the most thorough and extensive reviews of a major government project that has ever been conducted in history. And the conclusion was Yucca Mountain. So for the U.S. Congress to continue sweeping this under the rug, literally, ignoring the problem, skirting the issue, it's a fundamental failure of this body. Meanwhile, I respectfully must ask, where are the advocates for good governments? Where are the dozens of taxpayer advocacy organizations? Where are the nuclear industry associations? Every one of these organizations should be knocking on the door of each and every single member of this committee demanding that we do our jobs. Unfortunately, they are not. Again, where is the leadership? Madam Chair, there is one person I can point to for his steadfast leadership, and I'm sad to say I'm disappointed that the People's House will be losing his voice at the end of this Congress upon his retirement. Representative John Shimkus has been an unwavering advocate on the Energy and Commerce Committee and in the U.S. House of Representatives for solving this problem once and for all. Communities and taxpayers across this nation should thank him for his efforts. And the best way to do so would be to hold everyone in Congress accountable and demand that we get this job done. There are those on both sides of the aisle who know the difference between right and wrong on this issue. Many of you in this room on the other side of the aisle, in fact, supported Mr. Shimkus's legislation on the House floor last Congress to address this matter. And I continue to implore you to stay consistent. So in the meantime, I would extend a genuine invitation to my colleagues, all of my colleagues, on both sides of the aisle to join me in this important conversation. My door is open, and I hope we can move forward toward progress on this matter. It's just, Madam Chair, it's just too important for us not to. And with that, Madam Chair, I'll yield back.
And Ms.